is my third day here at this park, although the first day was just a bonus, couple of hours before it started raining. Nice day, pretty much perfect weather. Not for swimming, but for a dry park it is. I'm sorry, but even though I don't dislike the SLCs like most people, that one sure is ugly. Such beautiful sights all around until you get to that. They need to do a paint job on that. I don't care much for that.
I don't have any coins. I have no coins. When we find a coin, if we get a coin later, we'll do it, okay?
For your safety, keep your
Did 404,055 on this round. So 2 rounds on Wonder Mountain Guardian. Got over 400,000 both times. Don't know how good that is. It's a fun ride though, but not one that really feel the need to marathon, and it gets a long line later on. I did go for Fast Pass today, just so I can ride these rides as much as I want. The Canadians probably, who are used to this park, probably think I'm crazy for doing it, because probably like 20 minutes, 30 minutes for Behemoth, probably about the same for Backlot. But when you only have 1 or 2 days here, and you don't know when or if you'll ever be back, might as well do it. Especially when you're in a different country. Just so you can ride them as much as you want throughout the day. And this flat ride here, this is pretty cool. It doesn't ride as crazy as it looks if you've seen it running. It's actually really fun. Looks like we gotta maybe have a frisbee over here. Gotta try that too. And the ugly flight deck, nah, I won't be doing that. I'll do Time Warp again for sure. It doesn't ride as crazy as it looks. And you don't go upside down. But it definitely looks cool, and it is fun to ride it. This frisbee didn't seem to go as high as some others, and didn't seem to last as long as some others. It was still good though. Just got a front row ride on Yukon Striker, timed out perfectly with Vortex. Vortex was going through the helix as we were going through the tunnel. That was awesome. I'm all about visuals on a roller coaster, and so when you get going through a tunnel like that while Vortex is going around you, all these little things just add so much to the ride experience. Could be you have a lake or a river here. Even like Behemoth with the water alongside it, that adds to that ride. And being able to see the mountain before you drop, looking out, seeing the mountain. These things may not matter to some people. Some people look at coasters as just on a concrete slab with no visuals. They judge it by that. I don't. I think those kind of visuals always enhance the ride. And it does enhance It does enhance Valraven too, because Valraven's got beautiful views along it. It doesn't interact with any other coaster like this one does. And this is a better layout than Valraven anyway. And I'm a big Valraven fan, by the way. Just pointing that out. And talking about visuals on roller coasters, Griffin, gotta give it credit. Griffin has a beautiful view when you look off and see the water. That might be my favorite view atop a dive coaster. I got 5 rides in 75 minutes using Fast Pass, 3 times in the front, 2 times going to rows 2 and 3 line, which went quicker. So average 15-minute wait from that's counting the ride time actually, so more like a 10-minute wait. During testing this morning, after the dive, when you come out of the tunnel, there were a couple of geese right alongside the tunnel coming out. And one of them really flinched and jumped. Really caught that goose by surprise. This is such a good hyper. For the most part, it is smooth. Got great airtime, especially in the back, but the front does give different type of airtime on a couple of the hills, so it's worth going to the front and checking it out too. Really nice setting. Kind of in a way, I might have actually liked this more than Leviathan. We're getting a bunch of rides on all three of the big ones today. My rankings might switch, I don't know. I think Yukon Striker might be my new favorite. Cooled off on Leviathan a bit. Although it is still, I still say it's smoother than Fury, but Fury's layout is still better. Even with the roughness, I think I might like Fury more. But gosh, if only Fury would ride smooth for me. Unfortunately, that's going to do it from Canada's Wonderland. Just did a front row ride on Leviathan. It was not last ride of the night, but not that really matters. It's not getting any darker. But yeah, I'm going back and forth between Leviathan and Yukon Striker as my favorite. I did Leviathan 12 times today. Yukon Striker 13, Behemoth 11. That count might actually be indicative of where I would rank them. And yes, as I said earlier, I do think Fury is better than Leviathan, but Leviathan is smoother, so it makes me kind of enjoy it more. So yeah, it's a tough one. But this is definitely a great park. After the top three, yeah, you got Vortex, Backlot, Time Warp, Canadian Mindbuster, some decent rides, and then a bunch of ones that are okay, but not really worth riding a bunch. And then you got a couple bad ones, like Wild Beast. But definitely a good park. Enjoyed my time here. Glad I did the Fast Pass today because it was moderately busy and it wasn't that expensive to get it, and I was able to get almost 50 rides. In fact, include the flat rides, I did get over 50 rides today. But unfortunately, my next two parks are Michigan's Adventure and Indiana Beach, so nothing to the level of this anymore. But it's been fun. Now moving on. Very impressed with Canada's Wonderland. Enjoyed my time here. Thought about doing one more ride on Yukon Striker for my last ride, but thought of getting 2 Leviathan rides instead of 1 on Yukon Striker was too appealing, and I did get 2. Because you can get on the train a lot quicker if you got Fast Pass. Get on the train a lot quicker for 1 ride, and then get back in just before 8 o'clock. Really nice panorama. Got that amazing entry plaza. You got Leviathan. And then, unfortunately, you have Flight Deck, which is pretty ugly. Not the layout, but the color. They could just repaint that. And big props to the ride operators the groupers at Leviathan. Towards the end there, they had to deal with some drunks, and they handled it perfectly. Don't know if they would ever see this. I didn't get a chance to compliment them because that was on my last ride, and they were quite busy trying to get people into the lines after dealing with those guys. So I didn't get a chance to tell them. They did a great job. But great staff here at Canada's Wonderland as well. They were doing amazing, especially on the big coasters, the most popular ones. They were cranking out the trains so quick both days. And I was told that these actually were not very busy days by Canada's Wonderland standards. They're busy days by most park standards, but not here. That just tells you this park gets crazy busy. I came on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and it wasn't that bad by their standards, but it was definitely busy enough that it warranted getting fast lane. So that tells you about what to expect if you come here during more busy times, especially like July, weekends. Oh my goodness. I definitely did it the smart way here before the peak summer season and on weekdays.